Hey, it's Jeremy Bryant. It's Lone Star Conference Media Day here for Angelo State Rams basketball, and got head coach Cinco Boone here with me, along with a senior from Toledo, Ohio, Devante Pratt, his second year at ASU. And start with Coach Cinco Boone here, second year as the head coach, and obviously the first ever Sweet 16 appearance 2 years ago for ASU. Same thing last year, and as good as that is, well, you guys are hungry because you're just so close to the Elite Eight the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've had, in our opinion, 3 really good seasons. You know, when Coach Beard and I first got here, we felt like we had a good season at 19-9, and then it led into 2 back-to-back Sweet 16s. And but we obviously, you know, we're talking to our team, and our team is hungry for more. They're wanting to get past that and get to an Elite Eight, and you know, that's been the focus. That's been the goal with this group from day one.
Which kind of leads me to your off-season, I mean, a great recruiting class. And I got to think some of that motivation, I mean, you always want to have an outstanding team, but some of that motivation is, hey, we got to get past this hurdle.
Well, and you know, I think this year's success, number one, it's going to start with these returning seniors. You know, I mean, you're always going to look to those guys that have played in the big games last year in the Lone Star Conference tournament, that's actually played in the conference and then actually played in the postseason. And so we're really going to rely heavily on that senior leadership from those guys. We all talked about it at the end of the year that we needed some help in recruiting. And so we went out and we really like our recruiting class. We think we got a talented group, a mature group, and also a very competitive group. And so they've had a great off season and a great 4 days of practice, and we're looking forward to the rest of the journey.
Now, you've been here, as you said, this is your 4th year at Angelo State, your 2nd as a head coach. What did you take from your 1st year as the head coach at ASU?
Man, I think I'm balding and going gray. I know that's one thing I took from it. But you know, I just think that from everything, from being on the bench and knowing how to be in timeouts, and you know, I'm looking forward to this year maybe being a little bit more wiser and getting more out of timeouts, more out of half times. I'm looking forward to, you know, just already I think we've got more discipline with this team than what we had last year, and I think that really started with me in the learning process. And but you know, it's been better already. My anxiety has gone down a little bit compared to last year, so maybe it's just from kind of being around the block 1 year and, you know, being a little bit better for year 2. I'm hoping.
All right, so we got one of Cinco's seniors here, Devante Pratt. All right, so going into your 2nd year at Angelo State, you're like one of the seniors, and you're expected to be one of the captains and one of the vocal leaders. How do you take on that new role? Because you know, I know last year you really seemed to be one of the guys that was always vocal on the team.
Just talking to the guys every day and doing what he asked me to do, and just communicating with my team and just being vocal with everybody and making sure they do right and do right out the court as well. Being in everybody's ear 24/7, making sure everything goes smoothly, and making sure the coaches stay on top of their stuff and we stay on top of ours, staying in the gym, working hard, and just doing right.
I'd have to think, though, that Beard has to add some points because of the fact that gives you some leeway that, you know, hey, I'm the boss because I have the beard.
Nah, it's just being a mature one, you know, just stepping up and taking a role, just being vocal and knowing what needs to be done.
So, I mean, I guess competition always makes everybody better, and this is a really deep team. I guess talk about just the competition within your own teammates to make this team even better this year.
Well, you know, we got a lot of depth this year, more depth than last year, and it's very competitive in practice. So every spot is up for grabs. Like, nobody has a spot on our team, and it could be took at any given moment. So everybody just go out and work hard. You know, we practice hard, and we just listen to the coaches and do what we got to do.
Favorite thing coming from Ohio to San Angelo, Texas? What's your couple of your favorite things when you moved here to Texas for the first time?
My favorite things.
You're gonna say Mexican food, aren't you?
Mexican food, tacos. You know, the people. I love the people here. You know, we got great coaches, it's so chill here, so I like it.
So it is true that Texans are nicer people than Yankees are. Let's go back to Coach Boone for a second. Coach, obviously high expectations, which is, what you want as a head coach. That, you guys are, I think, number 5, I want to say, in the Sporting News, and you're ranked up there in other polls, which, I know doesn't mean anything now, but, you want the target on your back as a team.
Well, I know it's cliche and every coach kind of says it, but, preseason polls, I think, are good for the sport. It's good for the schools. It's good for the conference and recognition for it. But at the end of the day, we really know they don't mean anything. And so it's all about the postseason polls and where you land. So that is cliche, but that is true. On our retreat, we talked a lot about embracing it. If we were in the top 16 teams last year, it seems pretty normal to be ranked in the top 25, in the first poll of the upcoming year. So, it's kind of something that you expect to see because last year's teams are always in there. And so we just talked to our team about embracing it, kind of knowing that you're going to be maybe one of the top 25 teams to begin with. And then, now you've got expectations on your shoulders. You're expected to perform, and you're expected to perform with a bullseye on your back. And so, although I don't think these guys are arrogant at all, or our coaching staff, but I do think that we've got some success building here, and we're hoping to continue with that, and with that maybe comes some spotlight.
Just final thought from year 1 to year 4 now for you, with all the success that the Rams have had, how much has the culture changed? Have you seen it change, just the atmosphere, the students, everybody in San Angelo, as far as just their passion for ASU basketball?
Oh, yeah, the number one place that I really see a difference is in recruiting. I think when we first got here, we would make phone calls and we would talk about Angelo State, and some people didn't always know where it was at. And, now we're getting phone calls with coaches that are saying, hey, we've got really good players and we want you to take a look at them. And so I think it really starts in recruiting that we've gotten, some headway there. But also just within the community, we got people that are excited about the basketball season coming up, both men's and women's. We had a good turnout at Midnight Madness. And, I get a lot of text messages, a lot of calls. It doesn't matter what restaurant you go into around here. Somebody's always saying, hey, we're seeing the schedule, we're seeing your roster, we're excited. And so that's huge. And I think it's gotten better each and every year. And hopefully it continues to grow. And hopefully we have a great turnout, our first home game on November 18th and 19th here for the Coach Messbarger Classic.
And real quick before that, a couple Division I opponents, University of Texas and University of Houston, both exhibition games.
Yeah, man, I don't know how I did it, but I got 2 former Texas Longhorns on my staff, and David Lewis and Chris Wright, and so we got an exhibition game with the University of Texas on November the 2nd in Austin, which our guys are excited about, and we're looking forward to playing. And then 2 weeks after that, I worked with Kellen Sampson, who was Kelvin Sampson's son, at Stephen F. Austin, and we got an exhibition game with them at U of H on November 16th. So we're looking for those games to make our team better and to play in a pretty cool environment in the Division I atmosphere.
All right, that's Angelo State basketball head coach Cinco Boone, along with Devante Pratt, as this is a Lone Star Conference Media Day. Jeremy Bryant for the Lone Star Conference.